What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of My Ego Up Fantasy. Today we are looking at Elisa Masters Espoo 2022. First of all, these are the prices. Looking pretty good. Nothing really all that interesting about the points and the system in other ways. I think this might have been, yes, this is the first event without a bench that I'm doing, at least. So that's actually a new interesting part. We don't have a bench player. We just have the 1000 and you get to buy. I mean, the player prices have been kind of adjusted accordingly. So it's more like HLTV fantasy, but also the bench mechanic started to feel to me like more of a chore than anything. It felt like I didn't want to do substitutions because it was always a bit of a hassle to do it at a certain point in time. Also problematic turned out to be the fact that the a lot of the time it was the best strategy to just have a permanently benched player in a lot of formats. So a lot of the time I felt like it was becoming more of a chore. So because of that, I think not having a bench is better, at least for the player experience. So yeah, happy to try this out. Mm. Oh yeah, and I'm actually gonna be live at this event for the final 3 days. So the 3 days that have a public audience. So if you happen to be in Espoo and happen to see me at the event in the audience, feel free to say hi. I'll be there just to watch the games. But yeah, let's get into the actual fantasy. Ents, Big Sprout, Gamer Legion, Heat, Havu in the first group, Fnatic, Astralis, Complexity, Bad News Bears saw 500 in the second group. A couple things. First of all, this is in Finland, this event, so I think the long flight from teams like Complexity is probably just gonna be a bit of a strain on them. I would be surprised if they actually. I mean, I know they probably have been for a long time in Europe, I suppose, but also they didn't even make it to the major. You have to favor teams like Fnatic over them. For whatever reason, I'm drawn to this Group B and talking about it, so I'll go over Group B first. Astralis are going in a pretty of a weird situation where they have not brought a device with them to the event, so I think it's still gonna be a bit of a struggle. I would say Fnatic and Bad News Bears are bigger favorites. I still don't think Bad News Bears probably beat Fnatic. I mean, Fnatic made it very far at the major, so you have to give them a bit of an edge in this group, I suppose. Although it could be that they don't do as well as at the major, and one of these other teams end up being a bit better. But I do think Fnatic, they're just a strong core. They just have a lot of good players. I think they are on paper the strongest team out of these. So I'm gonna probably be betting on Fnatic in this group. Group A is pretty interesting as well. There's like, I would say 4 teams that you can definitely consider. Ents, Big Sprout, and Gamer Legion all have shown some good things. I mean, Ents didn't quite make it through the last stage. I mean, in 2-3, right? Then Big also didn't make it. I think they also went 2-3, and then Sprout went 1-3. Gamer Legion went 2-3, but in the previous stage, but they also looked good. I mean, it's a bit of a toss-up between these teams. I'm guessing Big are still playing without Faven. Yeah, Sin is still in there. Also, their players seem to be exceptionally, like really, really expensive. So I think a lot of the time we're gonna just go for a different team from Big. Also, a lot of people have picked Searson, which I'm not so sure about. I'd rather go for something like Sanpayus, I think. We'll see. I mean, 200 grand is now like the average. So anything under that is kind of a steal. If there's any good players under that. I don't know how Glaive is this expensive. I'm trying to look for any super cheap players. It's also easier for me to now, like, it always felt a bit weird for me looking at player prices in Ego App Whereas now, as it's basically the same as HLTV, where you have this, well, in HLTV it's 1 million, and these are like hundreds of thousands. Now it's thousands and hundreds. It's easier for me to like think of these players as like what is kind of worth it and what is not. Sunpayus for 206 definitely seems like a good buy, as well as Nikodos for 202. D-Shot 204. Yeah, a lot of people seem to look at the same players as me. There's no like super easy steal players. Like Crimbo for 170 is a pretty decent one. Not gonna lie. But I think I have to start just picking some players. I think Nikodos makes my lineup, as well as another Fnatic player. I'm just not quite sure yet who the other Fnatic player is. Like Roy for 205 is probably better than most options. I also think Fnatic are probably gonna kinda farm points in the group stages. So let's go for those two first. I mean, the captain feature does kind of favor going for one kind of expensive player. I just have no clue who that would be. Like, if I don't wanna go with big. Searson was great at the major, right? And it was a LAN event like this one. It's even first stage is like a studio LAN, so could go Valde. How have Valde stats been? Because he hasn't been like super impressing me, I don't think. But how did he do at the major? That's a surprise. Yeah, that's a surprisingly high price for Valde. Like, I think I'd rather go Sanpayus and Disha. We have 183 right now for 5th player from, I mean, GXX isn't the worst option for a 3rd player. I wouldn't go Halzerk. I could go Modern instead of like Disha maybe. I think I'm going Ents. Mostly Ents here. Could go Snuppy. Snuppy's a player who can definitely kind of pop off. Maybe you don't take Disha. Wait, where's Disha? Here. We go for like Snuppy. He's very inexpensive, and he honestly, like, didn't Snuppy do pretty good at some of these? Like, he's very capable of popping off for Ents. He's obviously not, his average ratings aren't great, but he has these events and maps where he does very well. He didn't do very well this event though. You should be able to maybe remove players from there. Like on the side there should be a button or something. Maybe Crimbo is more worth it. We have 217 after Crimbo. We can buy some better options from other teams. I don't think Valde is a player I want. It's like Disha, and then there's no one really better from these teams that I'm clear. So Crimbo makes no sense really, because I want to go for these players basically. 183. You could go for Havu and Spargo if you wanted to, like 0% pick rate. I mean, of course, look, I'm Finnish. I'm going to be a bit biased towards the Finnish players. But I don't think I can be that biased. I don't think they're going to do too well in this group, unfortunately. I think that's being a bit stupid if I did that. Instead of Roy, we could go for a cheaper Fnatic option, like Crims maybe. If we go Crims, 195 left. The options are again a bit questionable, to say the least. Like Fasher would be nice. Maybe you don't pick Nikodos and you instead. No, but Nikodos is gonna kind of destroy these noobs, I feel. Roy Messi. Roy 183. I mean, GXX isn't a bad pick here. I'm gonna stand by that. I think this group is possibly very doable for them. You know what? Let's go with GXX. Isn't GXX their Opera as well? Or am I stupid? I'm not quite sure who their Opera is. I mean, based on this, I would say yes, he is. He's done fine for himself. They did pretty well at the major. They beat FaZe Clan. I'll go with this. It's fine. What are the first games? So there's still like captain feature, right? It's still a thing. Yeah. They didn't remove that. So first matches. Starting like here. Wait, starting the day after tomorrow already. Okay. Is today like on off day? There's no games today? Interesting. No matches all day long. And then here start Elisa Masters. So first day, let's just check it from here. Matches. So ENS is playing. Oh, they play against. So they play all of Group A on day 1 and Group B on day 2. Okay, so we should captain someone from ENS. So it's basically gonna be Sanpayu's captain. And then day 2 we're gonna have someone from Fnatic, so probably Nikodos captain or Roy, either one of those two. I'm pretty happy with this lineup. I also like this is pretty clean presentation of players. I'm not sure what these are. I think this is maybe a bit broken, this fantasy log, as no one's played yet, so no one's really gotten any points. But yeah, starting pretty soon. Yeah, either way, thank you guys for watching. If you haven't tried out non-bench ego app fantasy, feel free to give it a try. I've got a link in my description by which you are supporting both me and ego app. So if you haven't made an account yet on ego app, please use that link down below. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. I will be posting an HLTV fantasy video after this one. But yeah, goodbye.